What's going on, people? We are back with what will be episode number 28, Conscious Approach Podcast. JV Wins here. Dave De Niro G is back with me once again here for another one. We wanted to talk about a subject that was kind of all the rage news-wise maybe a week and a half ago. One of our, people who we love to analyze in popular culture to kind of sort of see where the needle is moving in terms of how people are sort of certain waves that you catch going on throughout society and the culture. Cardi B is one of those people. Now, I'm not one of these content creators who likes to get into the business of critiquing everything that Cardi B does because my attitude is she is merely a reflection of the general population. So you can't get mad at the figurehead. You have to kind of assess what that says about the people.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of the way that I go about thinking about some of these various aspects of society and culture when it comes to popular culture. But nevertheless, Cardi B was in the news because she was bestowed what some still consider to be a significant honor when Billboard named her its 2020 Woman of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
So Billboard named Cardi B its Woman of the Year. And just like anything else, when that happened, it started this, debate, great debate. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody got something to say about whether she's worthy of such a distinction, what it all means, what are the implications, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that it was worth us talking about because maybe we can add a unique enough perspective to the topic area that people may not have heard before.
Mm-hmm.
So, I figured why not? It might be it might have happened a while ago, but people are still talking about it. So it is what it is. But yeah, Cardi B was named Woman of the Year. What? I'm not trying to,
No,
I ain't got no, I'm not, I have no hate for Cardi B whatsoever. I just find people's reaction to situations funny.
Mm-hmm.
But she was named Woman of the Year by Billboard, which means she is the
Woman of the Year.
Yeah, you look to her for whatever sort of inspiration, motivation, or any kind of, intrinsic value sets that you might look towards in terms of how can I position myself to be the best person that I can be. Billboard has said that in terms of the women, Cardi B is that person for 2020. Well, what do you think about that?
I mean, to be honest, I can see if you're going just from a reality standpoint, I understand why. You know what I mean? Her music, like I said, has a wide influence. She had the WAP song that had a wide influence.
Still
does. And, I can't speak from a woman's perspective. Now, from what it seems like, if that's what women seem to gravitate towards, and if that's what they seem to want to embody, then that explains why she's Woman of the Year. And I mean, I guess, like you said, it's tricky because I don't want to get on here and sound like I'm trying to, bash women or
right.
But it's just, for me, I don't know, man. Is that the best option that was available when it came to making that decision? I think we can question because I think there's a lot of other women out there who might have something to say, who might feel like they could have some other things that we could have put in the light when it comes to Women of the Year. So I guess it's just more so like, I don't know which way we heading. If that's what we consider a woman, is that the way men and women feel like their daughters should be raised and grow up to be like Cardi B? Is that the best option? Is that the example that we feel like should be set when it comes to women being the way women live in this society?
You know what's ironic about that question is she is a mother. Mm-hmm. That's what's so ironic about that question that you just posed, is that she is a mother. You have to imagine one day Cardi B's children are going to see the WAP video. What are they going to think about that? That's just a funny thing to think about. Like, what, But I mean, I'm confused. This type of situation always fascinates me because I never know what are the guidelines. Like, did she receive this honor because she is supposed to be some sort of pace setter for women? So is it a gender empowerment thing? Or did she receive it because of her popularity and her brand and her music? I never know which is which. Like, do you know?
I mean, I think it goes hand in hand. I think it's a little bit of both because, if you know Cardi B's backstory, she used to be she used to work in a strip club, and she admit that she used to, I guess, in the terms, have a street life.
Yeah.
And she was able to transition to a female who can make millions of dollars because she can, quote unquote, rap pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the empowerment comes from other females who similar to that situation, which are a lot, especially when you start talking about demographics of communities.
Right.
So there's a lot of females out there who probably can relate or do relate with her. And, they figure if she can make that transition, then, I can too. And it gets tricky because I never want to say that you should never tell nobody how they should live their life.
Mm-hmm.
And if a woman feels like one of her main ways to make money is stripping, I can't tell her she's wrong for that. But I can, disagree that I think it's just like with selling dope or, robbing or anything like that. Yeah, certain situations puts us in a certain, puts our backs against the walls per se to make certain decisions. And just because you make that certain decision doesn't necessarily means it's right.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I personally think that women, nothing wrong with being sexy, nothing with being attractive, because as a man, we like to see these things.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that females should necessarily have to say, in order to make money, you have to use your body. And I think because at the end of the day, we're all human, I think there's plenty of opportunities for men and women where you don't necessarily have to sell dope or necessarily have to rob or necessarily have to strip. But circumstances, we can't control. So some people come from certain environments, and I guess if you never offered a different route, then it may be difficult to see my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think in that aspect that, I'm not against Cardi B living her life, but I'm against anybody thinking that there's not other options when it comes to succeeding in life.
Right. And I understand that, and I largely agree. You know what's so interesting about examining a situation like this? I remember this happened before, but with men, right? At least for me, based on my observation. I can remember going all the way back to I'll personally trace it back to like when guys like Rick Ross and Jeezy was becoming big in the rap game.
Mm-hmm.
And there was this debate over, the value of the music juxtaposed to the glorification of the content of the music.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, there was this idea that people like Jeezy and Rick Ross might be doing harm to society or Black culture because it's bigger than the music, and the glorification of like selling dope, for example, can send the wrong message to people.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a certain element of allowance that comes along with glorification.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea was when you're glorification dope dealing, when you're glorification being rich off cocaine,
mm-hmm.
as Rick Ross put it, the danger inherent in that potentially is that
mm-hmm.
people with not so stable a foundation
mm-hmm.
In terms of their influences in their daily environments might glean that to mean that this is a path that I can replicate for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the day. And it was a debate. It wasn't necessarily that's factually proven. I don't think to this day we can say with definitiveness that rappers who rap about selling dope truly have a detrimental effect on the society because they're convincing an entire generation of people to just go out into the street and start selling dope. It's you can make that assertion, but what I'm saying is no one knows that to be a fact. And I think that some of that is going on with Cardi B, where we don't really, like, at least for me, I don't really know where the line is being drawn. Like, is she really being prompted as a staple for women empowerment, or is she just an entertainment figurehead? And does she pose a legit issue in terms of popular culture or society at large, particularly when it comes to minority people, where they're looking to emulate her lifestyle because the glorification aspect of it makes them believe that this is something worth me repeating so that I can get to a position that she's in. When in reality, the odds of you being able to replicate that are slim to none. And, are you going to raise your children to adhere to those same value sets? It opens up a whole slew of other questions that you can pose. And I think the key to it is maintaining the right perspective. So just, if we as a people don't put very much stock into her being Woman of the Year, because what does it really mean at the end of the day, other than an entertainment milestone, then her power or her influence, her sway over people is minimal at best. But as you and I know that's not the reality.
Yeah.
And the reality is people are going to take cues from that and say, perhaps I can do what she did to get to where I want. And maybe I can behave that way and raise my daughter in that type of environment because she did it and she is an absentee role model for me. So I'm going to repeat that and do the same thing and let the chips fall where they may.
Well, it's like it's a reason when you go to the club and they hear Jeezy, some trap of the year 4 times in a row, where they give you a light split, you know what I'm saying? Clientele, 3, and then somebody, I know from personal experience, I've never said I was like a major trap, but like, I've had my history and I've pretty much sold everything you could think of except for like hard drugs. So, I can remember when I was 21 and I was doing my thing and going to get your little stuff, go to Palm Beach, you pick up this and a little something like that, and you hear Jeezy. It is a correlation, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That you're doing what you do. Mm-hmm. But the one thing about it is not necessarily saying it's wrong per se, because like you said, sometimes you just feel like you do what you got to do. So you like that song Jeezy is a motivational thing, but it gets tricky because you don't understand that as much motivation is giving you, there's still just a slim chance of you, being able to, like you say, get up out of it and actually turn away from it, such as Jeezy.
In that way, yeah. Right.
So, but I definitely believe that there is, there's an influence and it's big. And like you said, because I know, like me, I love listening to music and all the songs I listen to. Even I'm listening to Lucci, as much as positive vibes only I am positive, but certain songs when I hear, because it just makes me feel a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? I can relate because I know at some point that he's telling the truth and that these are actually ways of life. Mm-hmm. And I think more so, like the more concern, like you said, is not that, we're not addressing that we don't understand why it's happening, but I think it's just more so understanding that we do have other options.
Right. And I agree with that. I just, what I want people to understand about something like Cardi B, and it's no different than like Donald Trump or anything, because Cardi B isn't the first time we've seen this, right? Like,
it's been back. Look, Kim, it's been going on.
Yeah, this goes back decades. Like, those two boys shot up Columbine High School back in 1999. The government wanted to blame Eminem. Say that Eminem's music made him do it.
That's crazy.
And that's crazy, right? We've seen this all the time. Like, these people are nothing but figureheads. So people need to calm down when you try to make a figurehead, the personification for all sorts of value sets in culture and society, whether positive or negative. Like, regardless of your attitudes and feelings towards Donald Trump, if you think Donald Trump is racist or sexist, let me be the first to tell you, racism and sexism was around before Donald Trump. It'll be around well after he's out of here and he's out of sight, out of mind. Mm-hmm. But when it came to this election cycle and people who are just rabidly going crazy over these politics, people really started to believe that once Donald Trump is deposed from being president, that all of the problems in society will go away and that racism goes away, sexism goes away, all of the isms that you attach to this one figurehead go away. And you might think that he embodies a perpetuation of some of these issues, but you need to understand that until we address the root of these issues, the problems aren't going to go away, no matter who the figurehead is. And it's no different with Cardi B. Like, women degrading themselves, women thinking that stripping is the way out, women inflating their self-worth just based solely off of the sake of their existence and their physical attractiveness, right?
Yeah.
These are things that are real and that are going on in society,
Yes.
right? So, but the Cardi B is nothing more than a modern day personification of that.
Mhm.
She is a figurehead. She's not the source of it. She's not the head of the snake that once you cut off, these problems become eradicated. They're still around.
Yeah.
So instead of engaging in these debates discussing the merit of whether she should have been bestowed that honor, let's talk about the root of the issues. Why are these even problems or issues in the first place, if you believe them to be problems or issues? And that's the whole thing. Like, I agree with a lot of what you said, but a lot of what you said addresses the root.
Yeah.
Really, when you think about it, you're not really assessing her in and of itself, bro. Like, she made the WAP song. When we go out and all of the girls know all of the words to the WAP song, I get a kick out of watching them say all the words, because me being a man, I'm wondering how much you really about that life. You know all the words to this song.
Yeah.
But, it depends on your socioeconomic background and your influences and your environment coming up through life that determines whether an influence such as Cardi B is going to have a detrimental effect on you as an individual. And like,
I mean,
it just depends. Some people is going to hit them in such a way that it causes that wave and things go left. And for other people who are fortunate enough to not come from a suspect situation where they are susceptible to that type of messaging, they'll go the other way. But let's address the root. Let's not talk really, regardless of your opinions about Cardi B as a person, everybody's entitled to have their opinions. But I'm just saying, while we are debating the merit of Cardi B as Woman of the Year, let's also talk about why this is even a debate in the first place.
Because like I said, you gotta be real about the situation. As much as it's a WAP song and we say it's Cardi B, like you say, from a human nature standpoint, women's sides. You know what I'm saying? If you have had sexual intercourse in your life before, just them words, what it can do to your mental.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just to keep it PG.
Right.
Like, we know what that word can do when you hear them lyrics from both sides. But what I'm saying?
I don't know if the words have the same effect on like us as they do on like a female.
Not in the sense of like how the females are, because they are the females. We are different. We genetically different. We don't have that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a man looking at you like, oh really? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And like that's especially so. Yeah. Like, I'm just being
no, that's
real.
absolutely facts.
So like
those are all facts.
So it all goes in, but just to bring it back to what you're saying, the root is just like a forest. It takes 1,000 trees to make a forest, but each tree has its own root that goes individually underneath their trunk.
Mm-hmm.
So the root starts from that female exactly, you know what I'm saying? So if a female doesn't want to understand that whatever's happening, whatever decision she's making, that's just because she solely wants to make that, for whatever reason she wants to make the decision, that's I can't speak on.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, the root starts with us as individuals. And like you say, with Trump and all this stuff, like people tend to, and it's like you say, they're the figureheads, but it's easy to scapegoat.
Absolutely,
Oh, the president doesn't care about us, and that just gives you all up. Those are like excuses feeding you to keep you saying like, let me just do what I can control, I can control, because I can't control Trump.
Right.
You can't control nothing. You know what I mean? We can't control Cardi B and what songs she make, but you can control how you take in the song she make, or how you react to the song. Because you can like the song, but that don't mean, you know what I'm saying? But if you go boom, 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 this and that, then it just shows that that's what you embrace, or that's what you at the moment consider yourself to be or want to be involved with. And that's not something that nobody can tell anybody else what to do, but it's just taking for what it is as it is. And I just think, as being in the social media era, people I will say this, people just gotta get out of this whole thing of like posting stuff and then saying, oh, leave me alone, all this and that. Nah, because like
that's where
you put it out there, so people have the right to, just like you have the right to stand on whatever you believe, people have the right to comment. And that's where it gets into, because people say, don't comment, or you body shaming and all that. Like, nah, I'm just calling it how I see it. So that's where the confliction comes in.
Yeah, and it's definitely confusion. There's definitely a confliction taking place. And that is where I'll call people to task is, our society has become more and more perverse as the years have progressed. And I believe that, call me, I'll be one of those people who will take it there. I firmly believe that social media has fundamentally changed the way people behave. And social media has fundamentally changed the way people behave towards one another. Mm-hmm. And this includes men and women's expectations for each other and how we communicate to each other. Mm-hmm. Like, I believe in accountability, as you do, mm-hmm. right? So my whole thing is, you can act the way you want to act, do whatever it is that you want to do. It's your prerogative. It's a free country. But you need to accept responsibility for the ramifications of those actions. Mm-hmm. So you need to understand that when you're out, even though this is 2020 and we getting into all of this feminism BS, and the reason why I call it BS, I don't care if you don't like it. The reason why I call feminism BS is because feminism no longer has anything to do with women empowerment. All feminism in 2020 means is, I can do, act, and say whatever I want, and you cannot judge me adversely for it. That's what feminism means. Not I want equal pay, not I want equal treatment, not I want fairness, not I want to be given the same opportunities in the corporate world or professionally. That is not what feminism means. What feminism now means is, I reserve the right to go to the club, sing the words to WAP, bust it wide open, and you as a man have no right to come to me thinking that I am actually about the lyrics that I know every word to. Mm-hmm. That's what feminism is. Mm-hmm. And that's completely unreasonable. Yeah. That is not human intuition. Yeah. Human intuition is you are what you preach. Yeah. So if you preach this stuff, I'm going to assume that you are this. Mm-hmm. You need to accept accountability for that. And that's across the board in life in general, but with respect to this particular issue, that really is what this boils down to for me. Like, she represents a perversion in society that has been largely accepted collectively by us as people. Mm-hmm. And I accept that. I've gotten over the fact that this is not normal. You know what I'm saying? I've accepted the fact that this is normal. But what I refuse to accept is you living by that code, but then getting mad at me for judging you for living by that code. We still going to, I don't care whether it's 2020 or 2050, if you know all the words to WAP and you twerking in a club to all of the words in WAP, I'm going to draw my own conclusions about your personal moral code. And you need to accept that. Now, if you don't like it, maybe you can do less of it. I don't know what to tell you, or keep doing it and just don't give a damn what I or many others like myself think. But I'm letting you know that you need to accept accountability for your actions and behaviors. Mm-hmm. And that goes for men too. Like, we the same way. Like, I hold everybody accountable. No one is above reproach. If you're going to be about that rap star, dope dealer, face tattoo, drug dealer lifestyle, if you're going to walk into the club with 10 chains on and, 10 bands in cash with your pants halfway down your ass, accept responsibility for the judgment that comes along with that. Yeah. Period. Now, if that makes me sound rigid or judgmental, then so be it. But I think most people act according to that tenet. And we need to understand that that's never going to change. No. So that just as I have accepted the fact that this is the world that we live in and this is reality, and you got women all over the place coming from all races, age groups, cultures, creeds, it don't matter. This transcends race. All girls in the bar talking about WAP. Everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talking about WAP. So
girls who don't even look like they do nothing, they
talking about right. Yeah. Glasses, freckles, everything, but they know the words to WAP, right? Yeah. Coders, programmers, they know all the words. So my thing is, that's fine. I've accepted that, but you need to understand that I'm still going to draw my own conclusions. Deal with it and move on, period.
Or just be what you are.
I'm saying be what you are.
So, if that's what you are, then, just be that.
I see what you're saying, I see what you're saying.
Just be that. If you're going to be that, just be that, leave it at that. Yeah. But, if you're going to be that, be that. But, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, seriously, I just want to be, you got to be, you don't want to start, kind of, because it's a situation, even though some things, social media, not care about cancel, but sometimes you just got to be careful how you say things. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, like you said, it comes down to accountability. And, females, like you said, if you're going to put out a perception or a persona, then it's on. Then technically, you shouldn't have no right to get mad at anybody for judging. But we know that's not how it is. And the only reason that happens is because then there's somewhere a disconnect between you and what you're trying to put out.
Yeah.
And so
you're really not being who you are.
Yeah. So you just need to do some soul searching, because if you can't take the fact that this person's coming at you like that, but that's what you're putting out, then that's what we say, man. Fake is real is real. Fake is everywhere.
Yeah.
And that's on all avenues: men, women, children, babies, dogs, everybody.
Everybody.
So there's a lot of fake stuff going on, and I ain't perfect, but I just everybody's. It's hard. Social media has really changed it, like you said, because you can watch Cardi B, and you might not be able to have 10 million followers or whatever she might have. But if you're very attractive and you look like Nicki or Cardi B, and you can get 20,000 followers, then there goes your problem. That's why females, like you said, it's different, because like, I got 20,000 followers. Like, I got 20,000 people telling me I look good. What does that one person on the side got? What does it mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the nature of social media.
Yeah.
So
So would you say that social media is the devil these days?
That's what it is. Social media has took over, and it's changed the game. It's changed the world, and it's not going back. And so you got to learn how to adjust with it. Yeah. It's just like everything else. But social media is it's just tricky with social media.
And I think all of that plays into why Cardi B become a Woman of the Year becomes such a hot button issue for people.
Hey.
I think that when that happens, what you can take away from that taking place at the very least is that there is a deeper discussion to be had about root causes. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I think a lot of people should do, instead of just, what are you criticizing Cardi B for? Like, next year somebody will be named Woman of the Year and you probably ain't going to approve of that either. Like, no one's naming Mother Teresa Mother of the Year. It's going to be it's going to be Cardi B, or it's going to be it's going to be one of these, and it is what it is. Like, and whether we like it or not, these individuals are representative of a general wave in the way the culture and the society moves. Mm-hmm. So, my whole thing is, don't assess the figure. Well, you can assess the figurehead if you want, but just understand that assessing the figurehead does nothing to address what you believe to be an actual issue. And
like Oprah Winfrey said, once people show you who they are, believe them.
Yes.
So, like I say, because I don't want to go too long on this topic, but hey, if you put out something, if you put out a persona, if you carry yourself a certain way, man or woman, you have really no right. Well, you technically have a right, but it just makes no sense to get mad at somebody for not believing or accepting how you feel. It's just like church and stuff, man. It's the same people, same female. You don't want a church person. As soon as church people try to come to you, I don't want to hear no God stuff. Yeah. But then as soon as somebody come to you and tell you, we don't want to do this, then y'all get mad. It's a lot of, just be real about it, man. Yeah. So be what you are. You are who you are. Yeah. And no matter where you go, you are who you are. That's all I like to say.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm not a Cardi B fan. I find her music to be...
I ain't gonna lie, though. One song, that Ring, I ain't gonna lie. Ring, that song should have been like song of the decade in my eyes. Because that, I might listen to that on my way out. I love it. Ring. I don't know how it goes, but that Ring, she did that. If she could keep that, like a whole, that somehow I can get that vibe with Cardi B, I can respect that.
Man, Cardi B got a brand to maintain, man. All of the thotties and ratchets they need somebody to hold on to. Hey, Megan can't hold it on by herself. Nicki done had a baby. She's about to be a family woman now, so they need the next crop to come in and take up the mantle. Yeah, for the modern day feminist movement in America, which is, my whorishness needs to be respected. That's what it is.
I know. I just, hey, listen. you are what you are. That's all I can say. Yeah. Be who you are what you are. That's
and honestly, I respect it. I do respect your whorishness. I do. I don't think negatively upon you as an individual per se because of your whorishness, so long as you acknowledge the whorishness and not try to make it seem as though you can compartmentalize it. I can behave this way, but don't think of me this way. It's an old... It's a Dave Chappelle stand-up. He was this the last thing I'm going to say. It was an old Dave Chappelle stand-up from 1996. I think it was his Killing Him Softly comedy special. And he had a bit where he was like, man, this woman was on the dance floor getting it in, going crazy, doing all of this stuff. And then I stepped up to her, because I drew my own conclusions. And, the woman was like, what kind of a woman do you take me for? And Dave Chappelle was like, okay, fine, lady. You're not a whore. I get it.
Yeah.
But and then he was like, you're not a whore, but you are wearing a whore's uniform.
Yeah. That's it.
So he's like, listen, okay, fine. If you wanna get on me for basically responding to the signals that you were giving out, have at it, man. It's a free country, but you wearing that uniform.
But like you say, and like we accountable too, because like I ain't gonna lie, Chris Brown. Trips to your crib in the middle of the night. Oh, where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I'm coming from. I'm no different. If somebody wants to call me out for my,
imperfections.
Yes, I'm gonna be like, you got me.
Right. Yeah, because I'm far from perfect.
I'm gonna be like, you got me. I'm not feeling it with you at this moment, but otherwise, you are absolutely correct. For real.
I ain't gonna deny it. Yeah,
I'm not
if my hand get caught in the cookie jar,
I'm gonna take the cookie, but not leave my ring. If my hand's in the cookie jar, I know one thing. I'm gonna take the cookie, not leave my ring. Yeah, that's right, man. For real, that's the way it goes. Look, hey, man, congrats, Cardi B, you the woman of the year. Congrats, man. Just keep hope alive for all the thotties and ratchets out there, all of you Instagram influencers and fitness models. Because we all know how you really make it. Yeah,
take work to get them abs.
I don't care about that. Fitness models are glorified Instagram models. They still getting flowed out just like the rest of them. Trust me. I don't want to hear nothing about fitness models.
But you know what? Props to everybody who got their hustle and do what you got to do.
Yeah, for sure. Keep it going. Absolutely, man. Congratulations to you guys, man. For real.
We need the good with the bad.
Yeah, listen. I know it might sound like I'm being judgmental, but I'm really not. I'm just calling it how I see it. I would entertain or talk to a fitness model tomorrow if I had the opportunity.
Yeah, right now it's my phone ring every day. I got at least hear what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm there all day long, all day, every day. So,
but we just adjusted. How Cardi B got Woman of the Year.
Yeah.
And some of the possibilities and some of the I guess different phases or things that can play a part into this, but I'd say like then they be who you are. That's it. Women be who you are.
Yeah.
Men be who you are. Yeah. And guess what? We'll give a lot. We'll get it together a lot better.
We will. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, for real. But so there you have it, man. Cardi B, congratulations, 2020 Billboard Woman of the Year. Keep hope alive. And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and close it out. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at JVWins. Check me out on Facebook. You can search JVISOGDEN, first and last name on Facebook. You can search JV Wins for me on Twitter. Please, if you like the commentary in this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to grow the community. I'm one of the last of a dying breed. Shout out to Jeezy out here who's trying to do it organically. I got all kinds of people on LinkedIn hitting me up trying to get me to pay for YouTube subscribes. I refuse. I'm a die on my sword, man. I'm trying to grow the community organically. So if you like the content, if you appreciate the commentary, a lot of work goes into this. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Check out the website. The entire library is on consciousapproach.com. I sincerely do appreciate the love and support. You can find my man Dave De Niro G on Instagram at 305_and_beyond. You can find him on Instagram as well, the PVO Apparel line, pvo.apparel, as well as the website, pvo.apparel.store. Check it out. This is a new hoodie design right here. Hustlers Anthem.
2021, we singing the Hustlers
Designed
Anthem.
by you, right?
Yeah, this is designed by you.
Oh, yeah.
It's fitting. Don't worry about it. Hustlers Anthem, baby. That's what we got. A lot of good feedback on it. A lot of people out here real talk. If you're a real hustler, you're hustling, it fits you well. But some things like the Batman suit or something like that can't fit everybody.
Fit everybody, yeah. Yeah, but we mad respect to everybody out here, man, woman alike, whoever is out here trying to build something.
Real talk.
This platform is a testament to you. We respect all the builders, all the red pill men, and all of the women who don't take advantage of beta males, try and bring some balance back to the force.
They gotta take advantage when they just take.
Yeah. But
betas don't even hard to take. It just fall in the lap.
But we appreciate, we creating something for the builders. This is a product of building as well. So we're going to keep the movement going, try and build a community. Big things ahead in 2021. Hopefully everybody has a happy and safe, happy holidays. Be safe. Wear your mask. Don't be a dumbass.
There you go.
You know, if you're traveling, same thing. Be safe. Wear a mask.
Man.
Don't be a dumbass. I'm going to say it one more time.
Don't be a dumbass.
Yeah, don't be one.
Mask on.
Mask on. And, this is another episode in the books. We appreciate the love and support. Until next time, we'll see you later. One love.
Holla at you.